Hello Reds, Thursdays talking Reds, Gareth Roberts, Paul Cope. We're doing it a little bit different today. We thought we hadn't done one of these for a while where we just ask for questions basically. So we've asked for questions on our Instagram, the Anfield Wrap. Look us up on there, follow us, get involved, all that kind of stuff. And we've had a load back, so we're just going to plough through as many as we can for sort of 20 minutes or so and see where we go. So if you don't like the idea of that, switch off now and don't bother giving me abuse about it in the comments.
I'm not sure that's like spot on YouTube etiquette.
Well,
watch till the end. You meant to watch till the end.
Watch till the end if you like us and you like what we're doing. And if you don't, just save you writing out a load of abuse.
No,
just fuck it
I
up.
disagree. Look, we're starting already. I disagree. If you don't like what we're doing, make sure you put it in the comments. I want to know. I don't want to see you reply.
Oh, I can't be bothered.
That's my Thursday afternoon.
Brian Davis, official 87. Good name there, lad. He asks Copey, what's the difference between our 2009 title challenging team and today's team?
Proper question, eh? I was hoping there was going to be one about sausages.
We'll see. Well, I'm sure they will come to that.
There'll be something like that. 2009. See, it's always the same thing for me. The past and that, history, memories. I would say
it was 86 points that season. It was the one where United Pippers. It was the one where we drew a lot of games. So I think we drew 11.
It was 7 home draws.
Yeah.
That was Robbie Keane. That was the year he missed sitters against Fulham at home and stuff like that.
It was the season as well where we only conceded 27, I think, across the whole campaign in the league.
That was the team that
we scored more than the Manx as well.
Yeah.
It was very annoying that we didn't win the league.
Yeah. But if you want someone who knows a lot more than me about football, Davy Moyes was saying but I just wanted to say that, Davy Moyes. He doesn't know more than me about footy, I don't think. He was saying, wasn't he, the other week, the current team isn't as good as that one, basically. I assume it was that one he was talking about. We obviously liked playing him. I think that team still probably, I'm arguing with myself in my own mind here, I was going to say had a better spine. The spine of that team was incredible. The thing that was wrong with that team was the squad wasn't good enough and Benitez had to create that from his wheeling and dealing and magic. Whereas this squad now is way, way better than that. If you could have combined that spine with the squad we've got now, like the wider squad, we'd be incredible. But I think overall we're better. I think this is a better side squad.
And you can actually argue that the reason the Manx win it in the end is their squad. Because they were able to bring quality off the bench a lot more than Liverpool were that season, and it ended up being sort of the telling difference. I think you're right in that. The current squad now, although I think we talked about this, it was me and you last time when we did it the other week, was where we keep saying about how good the squad is, but now that we've got a few injuries, all of a sudden you're going, oh shit.
I know, and I always do that, but do you know what I've started thinking? That is the same for everyone.
Yeah.
Because when Man City get one striker injured, they've only got one other striker left. Like at the moment, if their goalie gets injured, they're absolutely screwed. They must pray every day that he doesn't get injured, because they've got no one. The other lad's injured. And that's just the way footy is, isn't it? Like you've got certain key players, and if a couple of them go,
and you can't have loads of boss ones, because the boss ones want to play. And
that's the point. That United team, I always mention this. I find myself talking about John O'Shea and Darren Fletcher all the time, probably more than you should. But that's why you win a league, because you've got lads like Darren Fletcher and John O'Shea knocking around who can do you a 7 out of 10 job, but they'll hang around. They don't want to play. They're not asked about playing every week, and I think that's why we're better now. I think is because we've got the likes of Sturridge and Lallana and fellas who I reckon are probably happy being in the squad.
Okay, next one. Guy Hollywood, another footy one, another serious one. Not found any sausages ones yet. He just says, when does Daniel Sturridge deserve to start? I mean, Saturday?
I'm torn on Sturridge, you know.
Really?
What do you think?
I think he's been effective as a sub, hasn't he, so far?
Yeah.
And he's been effective, obviously, pre-season. Starting.
Everyone raved off the PSG game, but I have to say, I didn't get it. He scored a good goal, yeah, that's what he's there for, yeah. Is he as effective as Bobby Firmino? Nowhere in a million years, is he? And
stylistically, he affects how Liverpool operate, doesn't he?
And I know there's loads to talk about how he cuts off passing lanes really well and all that, but I don't know, I just think we're just nowhere near as good as a collective with him up front as we are with Firmino.
Okay, absolutely fair enough. What have we got next? That's not a question, mate. Just like responded to it.
Instagram's well. We were just saying this before we started recording. Instagram's well nicer than Twitter.
I like this one. Why don't you guys do a podcast with Mo Salah? I haven't got his number, to be honest, mate. I mean, we're open to the idea, and if you're watching Mo and you fancy coming in and doing the rap, pop in whenever you like, mate. We've got a recording studio there, got video equipment. We're happy to, get involved. But yeah, probably because those things are quite hard, mate. And we are trying to improve our relationship with the club. So we are trying to say to the club, we'd like to do interviews with players and stuff like that. But they've got a lot of people asking the very same questions. So obviously all the national media, all the telly stations. There's a lot of stuff that contractually they've got to do. So anytime that Liverpool are a televised match, the manager has to do certain things. They have to put certain players forward for preview material and post-match. And I think once they've done all that, to be honest, I think a lot of them are a bit fed up with doing interviews now, lads. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult for us, but we would obviously love to have players on, and we have had, certain players and managers and stuff on the Anfield app down the years, and it's been great when we have. And we'd love to do more. So, if you know any of them personally and you think, an interview on the Anfield app would work, give them a little nudge and say, why don't you go and do the rap? Gareth at theanfieldrap.com for all those inquiries. Okay, what's next? Someone's just put left back position. We're all right, aren't we?
Yeah, sound.
We've got one.
Yeah,
Andy Robbo is sound.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because the idea that Moreno's going to go by the looks of things. Maybe that's why. That's why no-brainer 88 is asking that question.
So someone asked on Twitter actually about Moreno, like when he inevitably goes, who will be the social media and jester king for the club. I don't know why he'll go. He's another one. He might be our. Well, to be fair, I was going to say he might be our Darren Fletcher, John O'Shea. I don't think he's that good. But yeah.
This one here, I think the answer's easy enough here. Keo94. Is Daniel Sturridge's redemption better than Istanbul?
What?
Gonna go for no, mate. Gonna go for, seeing the captain of Liverpool lift the European Cup.
I want to see him. Give me his picture.
Is better. There he is. Our account's private.
Oh, okay.
He says, it's key whore. I'm just a normal functioning member of the human race, and there's no way anyone can prove otherwise. Well, maybe that question.
You've just asked me whether probably the greatest time of my life is better than a lad coming on and scoring a couple of goals.
Scoring more than he scored last season.
No.
Grant Reynolds says, I've seen this morning that Bobby Firmino is linked with Barcelona. Thoughts?
It's going to happen all the time, isn't it?
Do you think though, and I thought this was good, we had a little chat in the office about this before, and Gibbo was saying, the way Barca and Real Madrid like to sign the sort of the Galacticos, the big star, the thing they can make a huge fuss about.
Yeah.
Is Bobby one of them? I know we love him and we think he's great, but is he like the fella who gets all the Adidas, Nike, whatever endorsements? Is he the fella who's the face of all things?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't quite got that.
No, he's not. Is he? Yeah, for whatever. But it's weird, isn't it?
Weird,
like, I wonder what it is.
He's a great player.
But he's also quite cool and trendy and stuff, isn't he? And so you'd think they'd get onto that, but my concern is that they might actually, Barcelona, especially not Madrid, get to the point where they're like, no, we just need to buy boss players who fit into the system that we're trying to play, and if that's the case, he'll fit them perfectly. I'm not worried about it. Didn't he sign a new contract at some point? Have I made that up? He signed a new contract at some point. Like, that's a ridiculous thing to say.
He's got a contract.
Yeah. How do you know? Maybe he doesn't.
Maybe
he's on a 0 hour.
Pay as you play.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was it. That was the Instagram. So thanks for the Instagram. We asked on Twitter as well, but we'd like you to follow us on Instagram and get involved with it, because putting graft in on it.
This is where you get to see. We often talk about this, how wildly different all the different social media platforms are, especially for comments. So you've seen a little handful there of Instagram questions, which are all quite normal and nice questions.
Yeah, they were all right, weren't they? I mean, our experience so far is that YouTube comments are by far the worst.
Yeah.
So there's sexism, there's racism, there's weird political comments. There's comments about every aspect of your appearance. There's people saying. There's some mad comment yesterday. It's basically slagged Craig off, slagged Josh off, slagged me off, and I wasn't even on it.
What for?
Just said we're all full of shit and that we all talk shite.
Yeah, but he's right. Whoever it was is right. You can't criticise that.
Why?
I often say this to people when people say something like, it's true. Like, don't get arsey about that.
But like,
you talk shite.
But like, fuck face or something as well. Gareth fuck face Roberts.
I think that might have been me. Sorry, mate. I was in a bad mood.
Anyway, there's someone asking about Alberto. With the inevitable departure of Alberto Moreno, which player do you think has the ability to fill his role as club morale booster, joviality coordinator in training, and Snapchat expert?
See, this is the one that's what I mentioned before.
This is Paul Hewson. Thanks, mate.
Well, my thing is, I don't think he'll ever go. I think he'll be there forever. Yeah, just knock him around. I think he looks to the outside world like he's perfectly happy, doesn't he? And he basically doesn't play footy anymore. So maybe he's gone.
He just
I'm not actually that good. I reckon he might have watched Robbo and gone, not you, Andy Robbo, and gone, he's good, isn't he? I'm not as good as him, so I'll just leave it. I'm good at the Snapchat game. What's your view?
Well,
I'll answer the question properly.
Who could step in and be that person? Who could go around Sevy Park on one of them like hoverboard things and all that? I don't know. I mean, like Curtis Jones to me seems like he'd be a laugh.
Do you reckon?
Like Walshy put something up ages ago of some lad doing a wheelie who looked a little bit like Curtis Jones, but it wasn't him. But he just went, well in lad or whatever, well in Kurt, and he got onto it and he went, it's not me, but that's dead funny.
But he liked it, yeah, good.
And I thought, good on you. And like you always see it, like you see him knocking around underneath stadiums in America when we were hanging around in these mixed zones. And he always had a big smile on his face. And I don't know, he just looks like he's enjoying life, and like maybe I reckon he's probably a laugh. I mean, he's a Scouser as well, so biased.
Yeah. You probably also need someone who's not in the first team, don't you? Because I think Sadio Mane is probably a bit mad. Like I'd quite like to see his game, like all the celebration stuff and all that. I really like.
Yeah, I reckon he's all right actually. Okay,
but he's in the first team. So
this is a good one. I've seen this before. Sorry about the pronunciation of your name, mate, because obviously, as is well established by now, I'm not very good at that. But Highwell Jones, are we going with that? He says Stan Collymore or Jari Litmanen in prime for the rest of the season.
Saw this before.
It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are you going for?
I was a big fan of Collymore, you know. I actually think he's one of the there's certain footballers who there's another world somewhere where they became the greatest player in the world, and I think he had everything. I think he was brilliant. But in saying that, for this team now, I'd take Litmanen all day long. At his peak in this team, he was phenomenal. Even when he came to us, he was one of those players you could see. It was like, I keep talking about the Matrix lately in my other life, and I watched it the other night. But it's like he was the one type of player who could see the Matrix. Like he could just play passes that no one else could see, and it was like always 3 steps ahead of everyone else. How about you?
I think Litmanen is probably the football purist answer, if you like. I think that's what most people would say, because you're talking about in the prime as well. But I'm like you in that. I don't know whether it was just the age and when I was going the match and all those kind of biases, but I just always remember Collymore's goal against Sheffield Wednesday and some of the other ones he scored. I remember the one where like they kick off and him and Fowler just play loads of 1-2s and then they score, and he's like looking at his watch. Well, he hasn't got a watch on, but he's pretending to because it was so fast, the goal. And I was the same as you. Like he did have absolutely everything. So he's really strong, obviously tall, fast, every type of goal in him. Could finish with both feet. You know, he did have everything, obviously, other than the right attitude at times, and obviously he had issues. His mum wasn't well and things like that, and obviously it didn't ultimately work out at Liverpool. But I think if he'd have got, I mean, he probably admits all this himself, and I think if he'd have got it right, if he'd have been in the right place, he could have been some player, and he was some player anyway. And you know, it's a little bit of a shame, but yeah, I don't know. I quite fancy Collymore at his prime. I think like the current Liverpool now, if you're bringing him off the bench in his prime.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Yeah. You know, all these teams that are deciding to shut up shop and stuff, and like they're knackered on 75 or 80 and Collymore comes off the bench and they're like, oh. Yeah. So yeah, I'll have him. I think Litmanen's probably the answer, but I'm just going to be different, I'm going to say Collymore. They're all dead serious, you know. I want one that's a bit soft. John Rice says, is anyone going the Pink concert at Anfield?
Didn't know there was one.
No, I think...
Has that been announced?
Are you going, Walshy?
Let's not rule it out.
Walshy's not ruling it out behind the camera there.
I might go to take that.
Really?
We had this conversation on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. Anyone out there who's slagging off Take That concerts, you need to go to one. They're absolutely incredible.
How many points, Bales asks, how many points do you think we'll get from the next 4 league games? I'm not doing the other bit.
Don't even know what our
So we've
next
got
4 games are.
Huddersfield, Cardiff, Arsenal. Is that right, Walsh?
Home or away?
Oh, I'm going to have to look them up. See, this is the thing with actual factual questions, isn't it? Because he's
We
also...
don't know what we're talking about.
Well, he's asking about like what Chelsea and Man City as well, and I definitely don't know who they.
Yeah,
who
too much work this.
It is a bit. But let's see. So next 4. Okay, so we've got Huddersfield. Expect a Liverpool win.
Yes.
3 points. Cardiff at home. Liverpool win.
They should just take Cardiff out the fixture list now.
6 points.
Give everyone the points. It's a waste of time.
Arsenal away.
They've won a million games on the run, haven't they?
Doing all right.
But I have it on reasonable authority that they're still crap.
So you're going another 3.
So I think
9 points.
I think we'll only win that one 4-0.
9 points, and then the one after that is Fulham at home.
Oh yeah, another one. Yeah.
12 points.
Yeah.
12 points.
Is there any way we can get more than 12?
No.
No bonus points?
No. There you go, mate. We answered that one. 12 points it is. What a surprise. What else have we got? Greatest Mac to play for the Reds, says Ray Moran. Gary Mac, Steve McMahon. I'm going to miss out a dead famous Mac.
Do you know what? I hope he doesn't watch this. I'm sure he doesn't. Steve McMahon is one of those players who was great as a player, but he's spoiling it for me as a pundit.
I know what you mean. I'm just
really struggling with it, mate. And
that's that time when he was on Sky the other season with Kelly Cates and was it someone else mad?
Ricky Lambert.
Ricky Lambert. What a
honestly,
lineup that was.
I've never felt so sorry for a host of a show.
Yeah.
She looked like she was trying to pull teeth. It was so painful to watch. So yeah, Gary Mac's that's the easy answer, isn't it? Because that's my age group.
And he scored a wonderful free kick at Goodison Park.
Yeah, and had
forever be remembered.
Had a great song.
Here's one that's a bit lighter and not necessarily about footy. You can go where you want with it. Paul Dunsford, favourite game you played as a kid? Don't just say footy, lad. You got to go somewhere else. Should we say like sort of like a board game or something?
Go on, you tell me what yours was. Well, I think. Have you got one?
Well, I was a bit of a Trent, so I played chess for the school and that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I played chess at the school.
What's going on here then? There's some underground chess club for scally lads.
I don't know how it happened, to be honest. I think it's just because it was shit at footy.
Were you shit at footy as well?
Well, I
never knew that.
I just fouled everyone, basically.
The way it's funny that, isn't it? The way you just have an image in your head of the way people are when you're just making assumptions, basically. I just probably always thought you were good.
No, I fouled everyone.
That doesn't surprise me.
Really bad. And
I suppose I thought I saw you as like a Souness.
I think there was a bit of a turning point where. So when I was in junior school, there was me or this other lad who ended up in the squad, and I sort of knew that was the case, and I fouled him in the sort of the trial game, if you like, and he cried, and on the back of him crying, he got in and I never, and I just thought, I'm still fuming about that. Fuck's sake, Mr. Dixon.
You know what I mean? Should we have like a therapy session now?
Do you know what I mean?
That's hanging over you, isn't it, to this day?
I just feel like it stripped all my confidence, and then from there on, I just thought, I'm just going to hack everyone from now on. Yeah, should we have a therapy session about why I'm shit at footy? But in terms of actual, so chess, defo played that. Played loads of Monopoly, although I always got pissed off with it. It went on too long.
I couldn't help. I don't know what it was about Monopoly. I just couldn't help but cheat.
Yeah.
I had a compulsion.
You just start lashing hotels on the sly when no
I used to do this thing because I used to like magic, and I'd do this thing. It was like sleight of hand, so I'd lean across the board, and as I leant across the board, I'd like move things and rob money from the bank.
Yeah. I think everyone
did
a bit.
Do you know
of
what? I've actually still got a thing about robbing a bank one day. I probably shouldn't have said that on there, should I?
Were you into like Subbuteo or anything like that?
Didn't really like Subbuteo. I had it, but I can't say I was a massive fan of it. I thought it was a bit shit even back then. even before they invented Boss computers, it was crap. I did like Monopoly though, to be fair. And do you know what I used to like? This is one for all you old people out there. Just playing in the street.
Yeah, playing in the street was boss.
Used to play cricket,
that doesn't happen
tennis.
now, does it?
No.
I mean, it literally used to you'd stop the cars as well. Yeah. So we'd put down your tracky top or whatever in the street to make 2 goals, and cars would come down, and you'd be like that, hang on, do you know what I mean?
We're playing here.
And then when the ball sort of went out to play, you'd like wave the car.
I reckon, like, there's so much. This is proper. We're proper turning into dad territory when we're on this, aren't we?
Oh yeah, I don't mind.
The whole jumpers for
Embrace your
goalpost thing. I think if you haven't done that as a kid, you've lost out on a huge level of like development in your early years. Because there's all kinds of skills you get in jumpers for goalposts, aren't there? There's negotiation, there's trade and stuff, there's perception, and because the number of conversations you just spend ages going, it was in, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like there's no way of telling.
Over.
That was over. That was over the post, mate.
How do you know? It was over my head. Yeah, but if you stood in a full-size goal, it'd be over your head. You'd only little.
These are the conversations we used to have.
But also all the other stuff as well, though. I'm not sure, I mean, this is your dart territory, as we said. Welcome to your dart. But like, you know, like gardens as well, where you used to jump over all the gardens and all the walls and all the things and see how far you could get before you.
Do you know what's funny about this?
Run and all that.
This is where
does that still happen?
If this conversation continues, this is where you start going. No, I never did that, mate. That was.
It all used to be fields.
That was breaking and entering. You weren't allowed to do that.
No, well, gardens was a bit mad, but it was sound. I remember, like, it went on loads by ours, and I remember, like, I was alright at it as well. And then there was a day, though, where some woman absolutely booted off about the privets getting wrecked because everyone had jumped through them. But just decided it was me. So, like, came storming up the path at my ma's, knock shit out of the door. My dad answers, and she goes, your Gareth has just ran through my garden again. He's absolutely wrecked the bush. I've just seen him out the window. And he just went, Gareth? And I come downstairs, I was in my room, I hadn't been out.
Come down with your chessboard under your arm.
One of them, and it was just like the biggest shit on ever. She was just like, oh, well, it's normally here.
She's probably one of the ones abusing you on YouTube now.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Blag name, calling me fuckface. Where on earth, we'll make this the last one, because Kopi's got to do real work in a minute. Where on earth has Alexander-Arnold gone? It's a good question, that, isn't it? Like, what does happen to you? Like, if you're completely frozen out of a football club, which he has been, like, what do you do? Do you just turn up at Melwood, knock round a bit, have your tea?
I think the life of someone like Markovic is probably one of the things that fascinates me the most. It was the goalie who used to play for City, and he was there, and that's why when we talk up the likes of Moreno and people are like, when will he go? I'm like, he might not, you know. Footy fans have all got this thing that footballers want to play footy, but loads of footballers don't like footy, they're just good at it. Yeah. It's no different to them, to us doing a job we don't like and getting paid good money and going, well, I might as well do it. So if you can do a job, imagine if you were doing a job on loads of dough and you hated it, and then someone went to you, you don't have to do it anymore, but we'll still pay you and you can still knock around with all the lads.
Yeah, you come in, do a bit of a run, lift a few weights, you can have your dinner, you see the lads, you can play table tennis.
Something to do.
You're not getting a game of footy though.
A bit like the full Monty where you don't even have to tell your missus that you haven't really got a job anymore.
Well, you know when
you just say, yeah, I'm going to work.
In fact, mate, the last time I saw him, mate, we interviewed Robertson in the pre-season tour, and in the middle of the interview, you'll know this if you've heard it, some of the players walked in because they wanted to play table tennis.
Yeah.
And at first, Matt McCann was like, went out and went, you know, these lads are just doing an interview. And then he sort of passed a note over and saying, is it all right if they actually just play in the background and carry on? And we were like, yeah, it's sound. And Markovic was one of them. So he plays table tennis, clearly.
There you go.
So maybe that's all he's doing.
Inside information there.
Knocking around at Melwood playing table tennis.
Maybe that's his secret plan. Maybe he's actually a boss table tennis player and he's going to go to the Olympics.
Be sound, that one.
I'm going to make a movie about it.
Yeah. So there you go, that's what we reckon
The life and times of Alexander-Arnold.
It's been a mad career, hasn't it, so far for him? Yeah. I mean, do you remember when we got him and we were like, we've beat Chelsea to his signature there? What
I still remember this fella on Twitter who was like, do you know when you see someone and you go, oh, they obviously know about it. They're from wherever he was from, he was like, hey, I watch him all the time. And he was a journalist and he was like, Liverpool have got a gem. And I was like, oh, this kid's going to be incredible.
Fastest fella since Ronaldo and all kinds of stuff was coming out. All kinds of mad stats came out.
All the YouTube videos when you're like, oh, he looks brilliant.
And then, I don't know, there was little flashes though, wasn't there? There was little flash. There was the one that hit the bar against Sunderland and Connor Wickham goes and all that. Yeah. But then we'll always have that,
Get in touch? Let's see if we can get in touch with him.
Laser.
Imagine if we could bring him back.
I mean, if he's not doing much, he might just be consuming loads of YouTube content.
Yeah. Laser, if you're watching me, get in touch.
Laser. Okay, and serious content. Gibbo did go to Kevin Keegan's house. How good is that? And
That's mad, isn't it?
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm really jealous of that one. And it turns out that Kevin Keegan, and I'm made up about this, is a lovely fella.
Yeah.
That's boss, isn't it? So Gibbo, also a lovely fella, has had a chat with Kevin Keegan, lovely fella, and they've had a lovely fella podcast. And it's out there, and you can have a listen to it if you subscribe to the Anfield app, so have a go with that. We are gearing up, obviously, now towards Liverpool playing Huddersfield on Saturday evening. So there will be a preview video out tomorrow, all the usual preview shows, team talk, weekender, all the usual stuff on the Anfield app, so check that out, and do read the stuff on the site as well, the Anfield Ripe, that could be a new one, the AnfieldWrap.com. Every day there's new bits of writing on there as well, so check that out as well. That's been Talking Reds, bit of a mad one.